So, looking at how we design using social networking. I'll talk about social networking first, and I'm going to talk about software as a service, okay? LinkedIn now has over 350 million users. Started off as a site just putting CVs on and keeping up to date with people that you used to work with. But these days, it's much more. It's got much more value in it in terms of groups, discussions, and all sorts of other stuff on there. If you go on there and search packaging, we'll come up with over 500 websites that deal with packaging. All sorts of stuff, from creative stuff through to technical stuff. Packaging Society's got a group on there which you might want to join if you've got an interest in that area. Facebook now has over 400 million users. Started off by 2 students in the US about 4 or 5 years ago. It's got a lot more creative content on it, not so business focused, but I think it has a place, and there's lots of really good design stuff on there that is useful, information that can provide inspiration. Also discussion pages on there where you can ask questions in the same way that you can on LinkedIn. And groups, there's over 500 packaging groups on there. I don't think they're as good as the groups on LinkedIn, but there are some interesting ones there, and some are a bit more tongue-in-cheek. Twitter, I think, is the undiscovered gem of packaging social networking. I'm on it most days, and if I want to search anything on it in terms of packaging design, marketing or whatever, it's a great resource for finding out what's going on now within the industry and what's being talked about now. You probably know, if you're already on there, you can only put 140 characters in. You can group things into different lists and stuff like that, so you can actually hone down what it is you're looking for specific packaging related issues. There's some hashtags to get you going if you're not using them already, and there's some interesting people you might want to follow. YouTube, another one. Put a search in here for interactive packaging, came up with 92 videos that talk about packaging in an interactive manner. So again, it's another growing resource that's useful. There are other independent packaging networking sites on there, like this Packaging People, and the East Midlands Packaging Society also have a website, which are another way for interacting with people in the packaging arena. So, how will that affect what we design? That was how we design it. What about the consumer end? Pew Internet is an American project which is looking at the impact of the internet, right? They look at families, communities and everything else, and they do predictions 150 years ahead. Paid a lot of money to do this. Right, their predictions for 2010 to 2014, RFID tied to GPS everywhere. I could have told them that probably. Supercomputers and intelligent materials. We've probably got most of that already. If you start looking a bit farther ahead here, right? 2015, adaptable materials. They reckon by 2016 to 25, emotion control devices. So your emotions will be able to control what you do with computers. By 2026, you've got moon base. Okay. 2046, humans assimilated into the internet, which is what I've been talking to you about, really. They're saying now it's another 35 years ahead, so it's within your lifetimes, you younger guys, anyway. And this, this is top dog saying this, not just me. What opportunities has it got for packaging then? I think packaging in the future needs to be smarter, right? Not only using smart materials and technologies, but also supporting changing lifestyles, communicating more effectively on shelf and at home, and designed with consumer convenience in mind, which augments the brand and also has a lower environmental impact. It's got to be packaging that better communicates, right? More and more information these days is required on smaller and smaller packs. It's an impossible task. We try and tackle this every day, trying to get all this raft of EU legislation onto a smaller and smaller pack because people are telling us to make it more eco-friendly. Using this type of technology will help in all these sorts of areas because you won't have to print it. You won't have to print it on bits of paper. It'll all be web-enabled. So, a summary of packaging opportunities for all of this. So looking at packaging design in the future and how we actually develop packaging, There are already a number of online tools out there that can help you do it faster, cheaper, with greater iterative feedback in the development process. May not be appropriate for all of you, but bits and pieces maybe. Hopefully you'll take something out of this and at least investigate them to see whether they are and whether they fit with your present business models. So whether you're a packaging supplier, a designer or a technologist, at the end of the day a lot of it's about relationship building, collaboration. In terms of the future in shopping, shorter term, there's going to be opportunities for this enhanced shopping experience, what I've talked about with Google goggles, point of sale, brand identification and using GPS technology to interact. Longer term, there's still a place for RFID and giving information that's pack driven rather than being driven by someone taking a picture. Again, collaboration with the retailers will be critical to that to make sure that they've bought into all this technology and you know, I know when I've tried taking pictures down at Asda, they don't always like you to do it, so I don't know what they'll be like when this gets more interactive. In the home, there's greater potential for greater customer engagement through instructions for assembly, like I talked about there with IKEA. You take that IKEA one step more and you actually get all your instructions for use online. You don't need printed paper leaflets. They can all be multilingual and interactive. You can pick whichever language you want to listen to it in. Product shelf life warnings in the fridge. Packs in the fridge will be able to tell you when they are expiring so that you know to throw them out or to eat them quickly. And with fruit and veg as well, when it's going off. You'll be able to get greater product information back, web-based, and through all of this you'll be able to build deeper brand engagement, build these emotional connections through storytelling, bringing these products to life, which all marketeers want at the end of the day because it builds brand loyalty. In terms of medical packaging, intelligent packaging can save lives at the end of the day. It will save billions of pounds a year, and this, although this OTCM product is a significant step forward, the cost drivers are more forgiving in the pharma industry. It's expensive technology, RFID still, and the price point needs to come down before it will get into the consumer markets more. But as the average age of population increases, this Web² technology is going to throw up all sorts of other opportunities. And with these devices and the internet and this interaction, it will give a much more holistic approach to healthcare and general well-being, where all these devices will be able to talk to blood monitors and everything else, so that when you're taking your medication, it will be able to monitor your heart rate, your blood rate and everything else, so that you can manage someone's health remotely if you're a doctor. So, just to summarise what I've talked about, I went through Web², I talked about social networking sites, I talked about software as a service, I then went on to talk about Web² and this technology and internet convergence, how we design and what we design in terms of shopping at home and the medical field. Yes, some people say that all this technology is dehumanising, but the counter-argument to that is that communication binds us all together, it gives us a shared context and ultimately shared identity. We can mix with people that we want to. You don't necessarily have to see them face to face all the time. What do you think? Different people have different opinions, I agree. In terms of the future, O'Reilly talked about solving the world's most pressing problems, putting the power of the web to work. There's a huge amount of opportunity here with the web, but we've got to use it intelligently. We've got to use its technologies, its business models, and perhaps most importantly, its philosophy of openness, collective intelligence and transparency. Web meets world, that's what Web² is. It's all coming together.